got damaged or oxidized headlights, we now have the quick, easy fix for you, and it's our Jax Wax Graphene Headlight Restoration Kit. Before I start this process on how to fix your headlights, I'm going to show you what comes in the kit. That is our palm sanding block, our 4 discs of sandpaper. We've got our oxidation remover with the oxidation removal towels, our graphene headlight coating and applicator. And there are a few things that you're going to need that don't come in the kit, and that is masking tape and a bottle of water. So before we start this process, what you'll want to do at home is make sure that you wash the car, wash the headlight, get all the dirt and debris off of it. We want the cleanest possible surface. And once you do that, you dry it off, we will apply all the masking tape, and we're ready to get started. So the first step in this process is using our oxidation remover. And this is an important one because we're going to get all the oxidation and all the stuff that's on this headlight. We want this as clean as possible before we start sanding. So you take your oxidation removal towel. Step 1, your oxidation remover. Apply it to the towel and just start cleaning the headlight. Now, as you do this, you will start to see the oxidation move right onto this towel. And as we go through this process, a lot of times you will notice that the top of the headlight has more oxidation on it, and they get damaged faster because the UV rays has more exposure. So when I get to about this point, I flip the towel, I hit it again. We really want to be thorough in this process because we want this headlight absolutely as clean as we can get it. Make sure you get all the edges. Sometimes those are easy to miss. You know, this headlight here is a pretty simple one, but if we had a lot of different contours and stuff like that, you just want to make sure you get down in every single contour of the headlight, which you can start to see. We flip it again. As we go, we start to see less and less, but just to be as thorough as possible, flip it one more time and give it one good coat. Now that we've got the headlight nice and clean, we are going to start the sanding process. And it comes with 4 sanding discs, and that's because this kit is meant to do 2 sets of headlights. So the first step, we have 1500 sandpaper. There's 2 of those. These tend to be used faster because they're doing the heaviest sanding. And as you can tell on this headlight, this is a really severely damaged headlight. So I'd say that we'll use this 1 disc on both these headlights and probably have to throw it away at that point. And then for our second set, we'll have another 1500 disc. And then we're going to get to the next sanding step, which is 2000, and then we'll finish with 3000. We'll take our 1500 sanding disc, center it on our palm sander, get some water on it, get some water on the headlight, and start sanding. And we want to go in straight lines. So whatever the main part of the headlight, this headlight's a little bit longer than tall, so we're going to go in that motion. And you don't really need a whole lot of pressure. But you want to be careful, and this is why we tape around, because you don't want to have to wet sand your paint. If you were to slip and miss it a little bit, now you're hitting the paint, you don't want to have to do that. So this is a process, especially this first one, that you really just want to take your time because it's getting all that damaged previous coating and everything that has damaged this headlight off. Again, the top of this headlight, in this case for sure, is the most damaged. So I will focus a lot on the heavier damaged areas and making sure I get those edges too. Now that we have sanded the entire headlight with 1500, we're going to move on to 2000 and then finish with 3000. the coating is designed to fill 3,000 grit sand scratches. So what we're trying to achieve here is now the 2,000 is going to take out the 1,500 sand marks and 3,000, so on and so forth. We want to make it really, really fine sanding marks to where we'll be able to put the coating on there to make it crystal clear. So here, 2,000, same exact process. Now we are in our final sanding process, 3,000. And this is going to get this ready for coating. So a lot of times this could be the longest sanding process. Maybe you'll have 5+ minutes, but you just really want to make sure that you are getting every single sand mark out that you can. We want it as fine as possible before we apply the coating. Now we have the headlight completely sanded, and we are ready for the funnest part of this process, and that is making these headlights look like brand new. But before we do that, we are going to make sure that there is no water in any of the little crevices around the headlight whatsoever. For this to adhere correctly, it needs to be totally dry, which we've done on our end, and we are ready to go. So take your applicator, get a pretty good amount of the headlight coating on your applicator. And again, in straight lines. Making sure that I get every single edge. Nice even coat. You could take a couple coats of the coating to fill those 3,000 grit scratches, but it is definitely a drastic difference. And what's cool about this is a self-leveling coating. You don't have to wipe it. You just apply it like we are right here. You're good to go. To give you an idea of how much coating you should apply, this bottle will do 2 sets of headlights like we said before. So you're going to use about 1/4 of the bottle per headlight. So that gives you an idea. I've already applied my first coat. I've let it sit for just a couple minutes. And I start the second coat. I really, really just want as much protection as we can get. But that's a usual indicator for you is once you've used about 1/4 of the bottle of this little 15 ml bottle, that's how you know that you've got the correct amount of coating. In between your coats, you don't really have to wait a whole lot. You know, you can be about a minute between each coat. That's perfectly fine. And there you go. It's just that easy. On a headlight most would consider needed replaced, we have restored clarity and saved this headlight. So if you'd like to grab yourself a headlight kit, go to jaxwax.com or your local retail Jax Wax store.